I'm Aysen Djemal, and I'm really, really happy and pleased to actually have somebody come on and be talking about yoga. And we're going to be doing lots of yoga demonstrations. We have tonight the founder of Feel Good Yoga, Cobi Campbell. Welcome, Cobi, to my program.
Thank you.
It's so lovely to see you, as always. Ray of sunshine.
Thank you.
In our darkest times. How are you? How are we feeling today?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, thanks. I'm much better than the few weeks ago when I was kind of a bit anxious about the whole situation. I'm starting to sort of accept it and get some structure back.
Right, I know. Me too. I think we've come to the point now where we're just, we know how important it is to stay at home, really.
Yeah.
And it's not forever, hopefully. But in the meantime, we're doing these things now, and we were talking about how things have progressed very quickly, and as human beings we're very good at adapting to these different situations. Phil, you're the founder of Feel Good Yoga, and obviously you've been teaching yoga for some time now, but if we go right to the beginning, will you be able to tell our audiences a little bit background knowledge of how you got into yoga and how this all came about?
Yeah, sure. So I've always been into kind of exercise and fitness since I was a teenager, really, since I was about 16. And I always thought yoga was not for me. It was just people lying down on the floor, or it was only for flexible people. It was just not my cup of tea. I liked kind of things that you jump around and sweat and things. So I didn't actually try yoga until I was about 26. And my friend was training to be a yoga teacher, and she was dragging me along to classes. And actually the first class I went to, I thought, oh, that's not what I expected it to be. And I came out of it and I felt good.
Yeah.
I just found that it was overall, it was working on your body, but also your mind. And there was lots of different tools that you could use to really use in your everyday life to just keep you kind of feeling good. So that's kind of what I continued to do. I continued, and what I loved about yoga was it was kind of working on your strength, your balance, your mobility, flexibility, but also your mind as well. And during my 20s, I was suffering from, feeling quite low, depression. And I really felt that the practice really helped me to kind of conquer that depression.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's the next sort of question I'm going to ask, the philosophy behind your company. You've called it Feel Good Yoga, and I love that title. I think especially in this current climate, I think we need to, grab on to feeling good. Can you tell us a little bit about the philosophy of your company?
Yeah, so with I think it's just that I chose that name because it just does make me feel good. I want my yoga classes to be an experience rather than you're just going to the gym or the studio just to have a workout. And yoga is feel good anyway, but I just want the classes to feel like a whole experience for the mind and the body, so that afterwards you just feel, however you walk in through the door, you come out feeling better. And that is generally what yoga does for you. But
No, because I was going to say, I think a lot of exercise sort of types of exercise are quite pressurized. You've got a lot of targets. It's quite intense.
Yeah.
And I think what you're saying is that, yes, you're getting healthier and you're building strength within your body and your mind, but it's actually making you feel good. So it's not just your body, you're saying it's connected to your mind. So you're actually exercising both. And I like that connection.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And the other thing is as well that what I really wanted, my passion is to make yoga accessible for all and for everyone to feel good when they practice it. So a lot of the time we see these images, I've been guilty of it recently, of posting sort of quite advanced poses of people doing quite difficult things or looking a certain way, but really yoga is for all. And I teach people who are in their 80s. I teach chair yoga, or people, adults with learning difficulties, or people all different weights, sizes, shapes, backgrounds. So I just want to make yoga accessible for all. And for people, I think the misconception is that yoga is for flexible people.
Mm.
So many times I hear people say, "Oh no, yoga's not for me because I'm not bendy, I'm not flexible," and I'm not I want people to realize that I'm not naturally flexible. I couldn't even touch my knees, let alone my toes, when I started yoga. But it's not about perfection; it's about progression and doing things to just make your body and mind feel better, and not compare yourself to others as well. So what I love about yoga and what I want to create in my classes is this feeling of just accepting where you are, not judging yourself, not comparing yourself to others, and just some self-love. So just and that's another reason why you come out feeling better, because you're not thinking, oh, I didn't do this today, or I couldn't do it as better as the person next to me. So it's learning to just love and accept yourself as you are. Obviously, you want to challenge yourself and move and do things that, you know, are going to progress you, but not in this kind of competitive way.
Yeah, definitely. So it's more about actually channeling into yourself and what you need, rather than thinking about the surroundings, really, which I like again. And we're going to touch upon some of this, because what's very unique about your company is the fact that it is accessible to everybody. And when we were having a conversation about it originally, you were saying, you know, that you can do a lot of sitting exercises. It can be for people who are more elderly, or maybe have got problems with actually mobility, and that to me is really refreshing, that you're actually accessing people to exercise who've got mobility issues. I mean, my goodness, that's really inspirational and very inclusive. So we're going to be touching upon that. We're going to be doing some demonstrations a little bit later on. But I also want to, because when I look at your Instagram, you've got a lot of followers on Instagram, so obviously you're touching a lot of people, and a lot of people are being inspired by you. But obviously, in this current climate, we're in lockdown, but you know, you've travelled quite a bit. What sort of experiences have you taken from that? Have they influenced some of the yoga that you've done?
Yeah, I just before the lockdown, in February, I took a group of my students on a retreat. We went on a gorgeous retreat to Tenerife, in this beautiful unspoiled part of Tenerife called Masca in the mountains, and we practiced yoga together every day. And it was a real opportunity for people to take their practice further, to take some time out for themselves, and to really, you know, feel good. And that's one of the things I've done in terms of traveling, taking people to places to really just retreat. So Tenerife, I've taught in Ibiza, I've taught in India, and I've trained in India as well, which is where yoga originated from. But also sometimes when I go on my own retreat, so as a yoga teacher, it's very important for me not just to teach, but also to keep learning and to practice myself and to do these things for myself as well. So I go on retreats with other teachers that I really admire, and I always tell my students, because I have to find cover for my classes, and I say to them, I'm going to come back with more, you know, more energy and more things to teach you. And so it's really an opportunity to energize yourself going away like this and traveling.
I mean, I'd quite like us to start the demonstration, actually, because it'd be good for some of our viewers to actually see that. And then we'll come back. I know we were going to talk about the effects of being in isolation and what we can do to positively think, but I'm thinking we can do that a little bit later on in the program, because I'd quite like to see the audience see some of your demonstrations, because you're going to just show us some seating ones. Is that correct?
Yes. There's various ways you can practice yoga. Traditionally, you can lie on the mat, standing, seated, moving through different positions. But to make it accessible to everyone, whether they're working from home at their desk, they can still do desk yoga, or if they're in their 80s and 90s and can't quite get down on the mat, this means that everyone can do it.
And I've never done yoga in my life. This is my first experience of yoga. So I'm going to try and follow you at places, but it's a true demonstration of someone who, like, you know, has no experience of yoga whatsoever, or exercise for that matter, for a long time. We shall try and we will see.
Okay. And just to say that yoga is generally a mixture of body movements, poses, and breath. And there's lots of other practices that you can include as well. But today, for this demonstration, we'll just do a bit of moving and breathing. So I'm going to move my chair back so you can see the whole of my body.
Right. I won't be able to do that so much, but I'll just try and follow you. So really, I'm inviting the audience to follow this as well. While we're in isolation, let's just try and do some relaxing exercises. And Naima, who was on my program last week, kind of who's an HS care worker, has just given us a heart. So hopefully you're joining us, Naima, in doing some of these. It's my first time.
So yeah, if you want to practice with your chair, it's quite good to have a chair and to be sitting away from the back of the chair. So if you can see, if I was to turn around, I'd have space behind my back. So I'm not leaning back, relaxing all my stomach muscles. I'm lengthening through the spine. So sitting nice and neutrally, feet about hip width apart, knees about hip width apart. And just relaxing the shoulders away from the ears.
Okay, so I'm doing that.
Good. So from here, we just come in for a few moments, if possible, closing the eyes and just breathing in and out through the nose.
Right, so closing my eyes.
Okay. Yes.
I'm going to close my eyes. I don't know if the viewers can see me or not, but...
So we won't spend long here because obviously this is just a demo, but usually in the class you'd spend a few moments just really letting go of any thoughts of the past, any thoughts of the future, and just being in this present moment. And a good way of doing this is by just observing your breath. So the breath is always in the here and the now. So breathing in and out smoothly and slowly.
Okay, I've completely got my eyes shut on a live feed, so I can't see anything now. I'm completely letting go.
And so when you're breathing in, just thinking about making space and warmth in the body, and as you breathe out, just relax the shoulders away from the ears. And from here, you can start to open the eyes. And we're just going to simply start to just take the arms by our sides.
Right, I'm doing that.
And then we're going to start breathing and moving in sync. So we're going to take a deep breath in and lift the arms up above us, big stretch up. And then breathe out, bring the arms back down. So very simple, but we're just doing it in sync with the breath. So deep breath in, smoothly taking the arms up, and then breathing out, taking the arms back down. We'll do that once more. So inhaling, lifting and lengthening through the spine, big stretch. As you exhale, taking the arms back down by your side. Lovely. And then just letting the arms relax again by your side, hands hanging low.
I actually heard clicking. What does that mean? You hear your bones click?
Yes, you're going to hear a lot of that. We're going to do other things as well to create those. Release that tension, should we say, in your joints.
Okay. Good. Can the audience see me as well? I've just asked her and she can message me whether the audience can see me. I'm not sure if they can or not.
You can cheat, maybe. Okay, so the next movement, we're going to start to open across the chest area. So we're going to breathe in.
Okay, well, they can apparently. I'm smaller, right? Okay, cool.
Lift the arms wide, bring the palms together, lift and lengthen the spine, lift the chin up. So we're lifting the chin and lengthening through the waist. And then we're going to sunburst the arms nice and wide. As we're doing that, taking the chin down to the chest. So we're having a nice stretch through the neck. Doing that again, breathing in, big, wide stretch. Palms up. And then exhaling, slowly taking the chin down to the chest. We'll do one more round of that. Breathing in. And breathing out, taking the arms back down. Lovely.
Gosh.
So breathing in
my stomach. Relaxing.
Okay, so in yoga, we move the spine in lots of different directions for really having a healthy spine. So first of all, we're going to take a side bend. So breathing in, lifting up with the arms. As you breathe out, we take a side stretch. So taking right.
Okay, like that.
Yeah.
Shall I go the other way, actually? Oh, that's okay.
Do whatever you like. So we're going to do the other side. So you can look down towards the floor or you could look up to the ceiling but we're keeping the bottom grounded on the chair, and we're having a nice stretch from the hip all the way up to the armpit.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll come up through the center. We'll lift both arms up again, and we'll come just straight over to the other side. So lifting up first and then over. So nice stretch.
I can actually feel that all along here.
Good, yeah. So we're making space in the body here, making space. And then coming back to center, breathing in and then breathing out, bringing the hands down. And now we're going to do a classic yoga movement called cat-cow. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take the hands onto the lap and
do that.
Breathe in, lift the chin and the chest, elbows draw back, and we squeeze the shoulder blades together. That's arching. And then as you exhale, round through the back, chin comes down to the chest, so we get a nice stretch through the back. So keep this movement going. So breathing in, lifting the chin and the chest, breathing out to round the back. So lovely stretch for all the muscles around the spine. We'll do that once more, breathing in to lift, arch the back, and then breathing out to round through the back.
Yeah, I think I need a chair for this one because it's a bit harder on the sofa to do that. Yeah. And while we're doing that, I'm saying there's people joining and actually doing the demonstration as well. Naima's saying that she's actually doing it with us, which is great. Yeah. Want to see more comments, please? Any questions?
Okay, so now to move the spine, we're going to do something called circle of joy. So we bring the palms together. We've still got a space behind us on the chair because we're going to round the back into it. Breathing in to lengthen the spine. Breathing out, interlace the fingers, press the palms forward. Chin goes down to the chest, and we really push forward, separate the shoulder blades. Breathe in to lengthen the palms up to the ceiling, big stretch up. And then as you exhale, sunburst the arms wide again. This time though, reach the arms back. So you can either hold the back of the chair or you could just reach the fingertips right back. So we're in a bit of a back bend here. So this counteracts all this kind of slouching we might do when we sit down normally.
Wow, I can feel that in my arms.
How about this one, Aysen? Let's take the fingers and interlace them. And if possible, take the backs of the hands on top of the head.
Oh, okay.
And so we're trying to sit as tall as we can, push the top of the head into the hands, and then press up. And then take the hands behind the back of the head. So it's like a sunbathing pose, a bit like, so we're pushing the back of the head into the hands. Elbows are really nice and wide. Try and lift the chest up and the chin. So we're really just opening across the chest here. And then we will release. Okay.
This is actually, although we're just sitting on a chair, and I can actually really feel all my muscles now within a few moves. It's amazing. Truly, I really do recommend it. Naima's actually said something again. I have... I can't pronounce that, Cobi. You might have to look at that. And fibromyalgia,
yeah.
Yeah, and she finds yoga is difficult at times, but I can really do this. So it's really, really good. And we're going to put the links up at the top of the page. Because we're going to talk about the fact that you've adapted now to the times. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we move on to the next exercise?
Yeah, sure.
Obviously during this time where we're all having to stay at home and socially distant, what have you actually done? Like what social media and stuff have you used to be able to carry on with your classes?
Well, I've basically turned this into my studio. So for the first week I didn't teach, I was just lost. But then I decided to start teaching online and contact a lot of my regular students and put it out there on social media. Yeah. And now I teach classes. I've got my mat here. I've got all my equipment. This is the most sort of uncluttered part of my house.
It's a lovely space.
So I've turned it into my teaching space, and it really is working for me. And I feel connected still with all the students. I can see them when they're doing their practice, or they can choose to have the video off and just be anonymous. So it's not, you know, it's adapting to the way, and it's actually really lovely to connect with people. A lot of people are finding it so beneficial because it's that community feeling still, and it's that connection, and it's that feel good feeling. Even
you're not alone. That's right. And what we'll do is at the end of the program, we'll put the link at the top. It's through Zoom, which is easily downloaded, isn't it, onto WhatsApp. A lot of people are using it at the moment. And then you can have as many people as possible. Once you've booked in, you get a code, I believe, and you can join the session. But is it unlimited, the amount of people that can join?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to about 100, but I've got nowhere near that. I have about 15 people.
Fantastic. Right. Okay. Well, I'll stop interrupting you again, but I thought we'd just add that in there, really. The fact that even as a professional, as a teacher, you felt a bit lost that first week. It's okay to feel lost and sort of lose your way a little bit, but then very quickly, human nature is such we can adapt and turn something negative into something positive.
Exactly. And even at the end of the class, I've been doing a little task for people that want to stay on and do a little bit of journaling or kind of after yoga, sometimes you can feel quite open and receptive to doing things like a bit of meditation or journaling. So
okay. We'll talk about that at the end, actually, the meditation side. Definitely. It's very interesting.
Okay, so the next thing that we've moved the spine from side to side, and we've done some back bending and rounding of the back. Now we're going to come into a twist. So I've got a chair, so I'm going to walk my feet around. So if you're sitting on a high chair, you can do this. And then with the hand that's nearest to the back of the chair, we're going to lift that up and take the other hand to the lower back.
We'll try and do that. Obviously, I'm on a couch. So
So breathing in to lift up. So as though there's some rope around your wrist, we're lifting and lengthening up.
Okay.
Breath in, and then cross that top hand to the opposite thigh. And then we press that hand into the thigh and look back over our shoulder. So it's like a twist.
Okay. Did you feel it sort of here?
Yeah, so we're twisting from the lower spine, and this is just so good for the back to just release the vertebra of the spine. If you want to, you could lengthen out your arm and reach back, looking back to your thumb.
Okay.
And you might even want to lift that leg that your hand is on, so it's a whole body twist.
Wow. I'm not going to be able to do that. I can move back. I won't be seen.
Good. Lovely. And then what we'll do is, the people that are practicing, you can take both hands and hold the back of the chair and twist the other way. So that feels really nice as a release of the spine.
Oh, yeah. What I like about your exercises is you give like almost space. Like you've made me feel like I've got more space in my spine.
Yeah. So that's
I don't know how to describe that. Yeah.
That's what's really lovely about it, is that you really make space and in the body. So I'll just quickly do the other side so we're even.
Yeah, I'll watch you do that one because obviously I'm not on the chair.
Yeah, ideally you have a chair, like a dining room chair or something. So lifting the arm up that's nearest the back of the chair, the other hand comes to the lower back. We breathe in, lift up, and then breathe out. Cross that hand to the opposite thigh and look behind the shoulder. So we're lifting, breathing in and lengthening the spine. And as you breathe out, we're gently twisting, easing into that twist. We can lengthen the arm, we can lengthen the leg that the hand is on. So it's this full body twist, and we're breathing with it. Everything we do in yoga, we're breathing consciously.
Yeah. And very balanced. Like when I'm watching you now, what I can see is that if you move one arm, then you move one leg, it looks very sort of balanced, like you've got the two opposites coming together almost.
That's it. And then we'll release and come forward. Lovely. One thing we haven't done yet is a forward fold. This is lovely to, like, if anyone has lower back problems or any kind of back problems, it's nice to do. Yeah. So you can do this one, Aysen. We breathe in and stretch up.
Right.
And then as you breathe out, you can either bring your elbows to your lap or you can bring the chest towards the lap and the hands towards the floor. So a nice stretch through the back. Keep the bottom grounding on the chair. And we just stay there for a couple of moments, breathing nice and slowly and deeply and really connecting with your breath. So feeling a subtle movement with the breath, with the body as you breathe. So you might be able to feel the back expanding.
Yeah. Oh, I can actually feel it. Right, I should be staying down.
Just one more breath. And then you can roll up through the spine. Good. Have we got time for a little bit more?
Yes, we do. Oh, yeah, we've got yes, we've got more time.
So I wanted to work a little bit with the lower body now. So it's really important just to keep the joints released. So things like the wrists and the ankles. So we're going to do the right ankle, just circling it, just lifting up the leg, circling. So what you find is a lot of tension is held in the joints.
Yeah.
So just rotating the ankle, releasing any, you can wriggle the toes a bit. And then we'll do the other side. What we're also doing is we're starting to warm the leg up here as we hold it up. So we're strengthening through the thigh muscles.
What I've noticed is I've had a lot of clicking on my arms, on my back, and now I'm having my ankles. What does that clicking mean?
It's just where there's pockets of air. So the more you move it, the less you'll have that. Often you get that in the morning when you've been still for all night.
And the other thing that's been happening to me, I mean, I've never really done a lot of exercise, but I've found since I've been at home and I'm not obviously moving as much, I'm getting pains down my legs. What is that?
Yeah, I mean, it may be just a general sort of stiffness from not being as active, not as moving.
So you would recommend that you try and like walk around in the house or in the garden?
I've got a great one I love to do that called Touch the Sky, Touch the Earth. You can either do it in the chair or you can do it standing up. But basically you touch the sky and touch the earth. So you breathe in. If you're standing up, you would breathe in, touch the sky, breathe out, touch the earth. So it's just keeping the stretch through the front and the back of the body. Breathing
down. I'm doing it sitting down.
Yes, you can do it either way.
And I love that idea. Sky, earth.
Yeah.
So you really stretch out.
Yeah, really stretch as high as you can as you breathe in. And then as you breathe out, you try and touch the floor and just touch the earth. So you're just getting a nice movement through the front of the body as you stretch up. You can just open the front of the body. And as you come forward, you're stretching the back of the body.
What I find also is you're connecting the breath to the movement.
That's the most important thing, So that keeps you, it's like a moving meditation then as well. So you're always mindful, you're always moving with the breath, and it's the thread that leads through all the yoga practice.
Could I ask you something now? You were saying about the meditation and, having a positive mindset. What message would you give out to the audience? Like, how would they do that? Because you're saying that you do some meditation exercises. What are your thoughts about that for somebody who's not exactly an expert in doing yoga or any type of exercise? What sorts of things could they do that's quite easy and quick?
Yeah, so I would recommend the way I started with meditation. I think people always think, oh God, I can't do meditation. You have to have a blank mind. And as soon as I start to try and do it, I think about everything. So it's not expected. It's human nature that we always have thoughts in our minds. So a good way to start your practice is just to set a timer, maybe on your phone, for 5 minutes, and just shut the door, be private, let people know that you're just having 5 minutes break. And just close your eyes. You can make a nice space for yourself that you may come to in your bedroom or living room, wherever. And just close your eyes and just concentrate on your breathing, inhaling and exhaling, and just doing that for 5 minutes. And if your thoughts, which they will, if your thoughts go off into shopping lists or, oh, I'm bored or whatever it is that you might be distracted by, you just note that you've been distracted and you say thinking, and then you come back to just observing your breath. So you're training your mind to keep more focused in the present moment. or you can do something called 6-6 breathing. It's a really nice breathing pattern. You breathe in for 6 seconds and out for 6 seconds. And this is the best kind of breathing for your overall health. It's been scientifically proven. I can say the book as well that's from. But that is a way you just count in for 6, count out for 6. And then you're almost, that just keeps you occupied. So you haven't got time to think about everything else that's in your mind.
Yeah. So counting for your breathing, and when you're meditating, when you get distracted, to say thinking, like almost like label it. So you recognize it and then you put it to one side.
Exactly.
That's a really good tip. I'm going to be doing those.
And you can start off with 5 minutes or 2 minutes, and then it's a practice. So now I do 20 minutes or 30 minutes, whereas before I couldn't do 5 minutes, no way. So it's a practice, like with anything.
Okay, so as you go along, you can actually get longer and longer with it, can you?
Yeah, so like you might stay doing 5 minutes for a year or 2 weeks or whatever, and then you might think, oh, I could take it a bit further now. I feel quite comfortable doing that. And what I find after I've been meditating is just this feeling of clarity, a feeling of just it allows stillness and silence, and it allows this for you to just reset and just see things a bit more clearly. Sometimes we get so muddled in our heads and it all just gets too much. And
So you're saying really just feel comfortable with the silence, take some time out. And as you do it, the meditation will get longer and longer. You'll be able to sustain it for longer. We've actually got some comments, but all of them are very positive, all hearts really, and people joining in. So obviously finding it very beneficial, and certainly what we'll do, just to tell the audience, is we'll put the links on the top of the page. So there are Zoom classes that you can join on a regular basis. When are your classes, Cobi? Are they set in time, or is there a website? I mean, we'll put the link for you.
At the moment I'm teaching on Monday evenings and then on Wednesday and Friday mornings. It's an hour and 15-minute class, and it's all kind of age ranges and different abilities. So I welcome all. But also
anyway, what we're going to do is we've got about 5 minutes left, so I don't know if there's a few more quick demonstrations that we can do, and we're going to wrap up the program. The half an hour has just flown by. We're actually on extra time now. We're extending the program a little bit just so that we can have a few more tips, because it's been fantastic. And like I said, there's been a lot of positive feedback from the audience. So any others? And what I like about your exercise is that they're all inclusive, all ability, all ages. And tonight we've just done exercises predominantly sitting in our chairs. And I can tell you, for one, I felt stretching in my back, in my arms, clicking in my ankles, which means that obviously I had pockets of air that needed to be taken out. So certainly very, very useful. And I think what we should do in the near future is maybe repeat this on another program where we do some standing exercises. So inclusive. It's amazing. So I'll let you do a few more demonstrations before we wrap up the program.
Okay. So I'm going to show you the half breath, which is a nice way to release any tension. So what we're going to do is let the arms hang loose, and you might feel a bit silly. So just let that go. So if you've got people around you, it doesn't matter. What we do is we breathe in, lift the shoulders up to the ears, and then we just let the exhalation through the mouth. Perfect. And just really let the shoulders drop. So imagine you're just letting go of any tension, any stress, any worries. So breathing in through the nose to lift the shoulders up, and then good. We'll do one more. Good. So usually in my classes we do about 5 to 10 of these. There's also sometimes during this lockdown we feel kind of a bit lethargic or tired with staying at home. So sometimes we need an energizing breath. This I'm going to show you is an energizing breath. So we breathe in and reach the arms up. As we breathe out, we make a shh. So it's like a breath out through the mouth. And we do this 10 times. So you're going to join me, Aysen?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So breathing in. Good, lovely.
Oh, I nearly did an extra one there. I can
So
feel
that's
it
right.
here. Can actually feel it here and in my throat. That's amazing. Woo.
Yeah, so that can kind of just bring a lot of, if you're feeling slow in the morning or just tired, doing that can really help just energize you. I've got loads more tools that I could share, but I could go on too long. So
Yeah. I think, well, yeah, because we've got literally a minute left before the end of our program. I mean, it's been great. We'll share out this video to everybody because there's lots of different exercises there that people can try out. But before we go, Cobi, what's your last message? You know, there's a lot of people out there. Obviously, we're all very confused, but we're trying to remain positive. We're adapting to the times and things are changing very, very quickly. The government has just announced yesterday that we've got another 3 more weeks of this. So what would you recommend people in those 3 weeks? Any tips from your expertise?
Breathing. If you don't do any of the yoga poses or movement, practice just breathing. Just slow your breath down. And any times you're feeling anxious, angry, frustrated, slow, deep breaths in and out. And maybe take 5 minutes out of your day to do that. It really helps with your mind, your body. Breathing is life. So if we learn to breathe properly, we can live well. Also, another thing is maybe there's a word in yoga called santosha, and it means contentment. And it's being happy with the things that you have rather than focusing on the things that you don't have. So we've had a lot taken away from us at the moment with restrictions. So maybe waking up in the morning and writing, or at the end of the day, writing a gratitude journal, 3 things that you are grateful for today. And then we're focusing on the things we have rather than the things we don't have. And it could be something simple like your cup of coffee in the morning. It doesn't have to be big things. So,
yeah. I got a cup of coffee today, and I was very grateful for that this morning, which was nice. And someone made it for me, so I was very grateful for that. And it was a very simple little thing, but it was really, really good. Thank you so much, Cobi, for coming on my program. It's been absolutely awesome today, and it's been a birthday treat because it was my birthday today. So you're very, very happy today. It's been a real treat. It's so lovely to see you again, and good luck with everything. And hopefully in 3 weeks' time, things might slightly progress. But like you said, remain positive, have positive thoughts.
And breathe.
And breathe. Maybe write things down that you've been grateful for, all of these great tips. And I recommend that people watch the video through and follow some of the exercises. But thank you very much.
Yeah, you can find lots of things on YouTube with different exercises. So as well.
It's fantastic. Thank you, my love. That's it from Genc TV. We hope that you all have a very good evening. My next program will be on Monday. Watch for the adverts, for the themes, and we're going to be continuing every Wednesday to have a program about COVID-19 and our Turkish Cypriot platform for that. So take care, stay safe, stay at home, follow government guidelines, and I'm hoping that everybody is really well and good. Thank you very much. I've got a last message from Pembe giving me a heart, and Fatima Mehmet, my soul sister, saying that she loved this. So I'm really, really pleased. My bestie. Thank you very much. Have a very good evening from Genc TV. Good night.
Büyük indirim, şık tasarımlarıyla ev hanımlarımızın hayalini süsleyen Venti yatak odası takımı Bellona şubelerinde sizleri bekliyor. Bronz aynası, dairesel kulp tasarımı, yerden yüksek yapısıyla temizliği kolay, storage alanıyla fazlalıklarınızı saklayabileceğiniz Venti yatak odası takımı yalnızca 2395 pound. Evet, yanlış duymadınız. 5 kapılı Venti yatak odası takımı 3700 pound yerine şimdi yalnızca 2395 pound'a sizleri bekliyor. Hadi hemen 266-270 Enfield High Street ve 219-221 Lewisham High Street'te bulunan Bellona şubelerimize gelin, yatak odası takımını alın gidin. Haydi bu fırsatı kaçırmayın. Yine sizin için, yine Bellona.